I'm not going to say a single word about the Tennessee Titans record against the Indianapolis Colts because I was a punter, and there's no reason for me to talk about that. With that being said, we did not punt much against the Tennessee Titans, so you probably have no clue who I am to begin.
Look, I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle. Run it back, switch it up, call it audible. Serving up them Hail Marys till the game over with the showstopper. So hot, you gotta blow on it. I said I'll huff and I'll puff, then I'll pass to my left while I'm looking to my right. Hit him right in the chest. It be looking like magic. Better give me the throne. I ain't talking about Patrick, but I rep my home. I'm never at the end of my zone. I'm bad to the bone. Eating up these pig skins like they chicharrones, and you a douche cabron. Mira, mira at the mirror on the wall. I'm the greatest of them all. They gon' put me in the hall. Your name is only written in a bathroom stall. Quit your stalling and make a play. My drive too long. Pop the clutch, I don't pump the brakes. I know what it takes to gain the muscle, get rugged. These butterfingers be fumbling, squash a scrimmage and rub it in Robitussin. How I give them concussion, they seeing double, they rushing and pass the shovel, the dirt and rubble. I bury them under it. Stay in your huddle and get 10 yards back. Never turn your back. I'ma pull your flag. I go full contact, out punch, out kick like a shotgun.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back, people. Welcome back. Welcome back. Actually, weather's pretty good out here. How's everything going where y'all are?
Just started storming a little bit ago.
Oh, there you go. Okay. How about you guys? Harish and Josh are a lot closer than we thought. Y'all in Texas, Louisiana, like border buddies.
Yeah, we're chilling out here. It's nice and hot and gorgeous. I love it.
Good. Glad to hear it. What about you, Josh? How's it going out there?
Pretty much the same. Hot. Where we at? 94 degrees.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, yes. Ooh, okay, yeah, no, thank you. All right. Well, hopefully it cools off a little bit. If not, you're used to it. So, to each their own. But hey, welcome back, people. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure that you're liking, commenting, and sharing. But hey, the boys are here. We want to make sure that you know that this is the HOrseShoe Mob podcast, where we're coming to you with everything Colts and, slandering some people along the way. Listen, I don't care how last season ended. All I know is forget the AFC South, man. I don't like them anyway. Especially the Titans, because their fans are like inbred and they eat mayo by itself. But
I mean, at this point, you should add the Texans too, mainly because one person. Yeah.
Oh, you ain't gonna say no names, but it rhymes with.
You're not feeling the Texans right now, man. They're gonna win the AFC South. The Texans are gonna win the AFC South.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud's gonna be an MVP.
We forget it. They do have a coach that coach in the Super Bowl.
I wish we had one of those.
I'm sorry, no. Coach the defense in the Super Bowl. Let me rephrase that.
Gotcha. Kevin says, let's go Colts. Thank you for that, Kevin. Appreciate you. But hey, make sure that you're liking, commenting, and sharing from wherever you're at. We're on Facebook, Twitter, I think Instagram too. I don't know if we're on Instagram, but we should be. We should be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh wait. There he is. There he is. The text.
Oh no, not him. Oh no, he's good.
Oh, he's the VT's a good one.
Yeah. He's no worse than the other guy that.
You mean
I don't want to say
the Titans fan actually?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're okay. Oh, you're talking about Leo. You're talking about Leo. Hey, listen, we know who it is. We know who it is. It's Leo.
I thought he said he didn't want to mention any names.
No,
I did.
No, I will. I'll do it gladly. I don't care. I'll be the guy. But hey, welcome back. And before we go any further, let's just go ahead and get everybody introduced to all the guys, starting with the guy who's the silent assassin. However, he hasn't been able to be so silent in certain groups recently. Austin Cook, everybody.
What's up? I'm Austin.
Yeah,
you're right about that. Austin.
Austin has been like the levels of pissed off that he's been in these groups recently has been ridiculous.
I love it. I wish we can post it on here so everybody can see the interaction that he has the last couple of days, even on vacation.
Exactly. That's what I'm like. Ugh, Jesus. And then also the man without the band, the man who's officially back in business on all social media now, including Twitter. I don't know how you get banned on Twitter for X amount of time, but you know what? Harish did it. Harish Nukal, everybody.
What's up? I'm the king of getting banned for saying things that don't make sense.
All right.
I think it has something to do with Trump again.
Oh no.
Maybe.
Okay, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Okay, we're not doing that. Like, that's one place we're not going. All right, let's just get that out the way right now.
That's why I said things that don't make sense. See, you guys want to be specific when I try to keep topics broad.
No. So the thing is, we generally, when it comes to just like interactions between fan bases or whatever, I'm completely okay with that. But the thing is, Josh went full scorched earth just now. Like you need to. Matter of fact, you know what? Here, yeah, that's Josh Senior. Okay, he can't even introduce himself. Okay, he's probation. Sorrow's prayers. There you go. And I'm Chris Jackson, and I'm already sick of this shit. So let's just get to it, okay? Let's just get to it. But before we do, we have to make sure that we don't skip over fanbattlesports.com. Make sure that you're going to the website. That's where you'll be able to see all content, where you can access the podcast. You'll be able to access articles written by the fan bases, and where you will actually be seeing upcoming articles from Harish himself for the universe or the Texas Longhorns fan battle. Is that right? For Texas Longhorns fan battle.
Sure.
Now, I don't know. Now, the thing is, Josh is probably going to do an Alabama fan battle now because Harish is doing Texas, and his first article is about how Texas is going to spank Alabama this year.
See, we could say that for another day, but if Josh had any sense, he would know that's a true story.
Hey, little lady.
No,
Have a good night.
Go in there. Close the door. Yeah, there's no way I can believe what the Longhorns doing in the SEC. They haven't made it there yet. So, yeah, if they probably have problems with A&M before they beat us.
Meanwhile, Austin is laughing over there in Vols. but didn't they just get a ban?
No, we didn't get banned.
Oh, okay.
They got some games taken away from them that they'll suck anyway, but they got games taken away.
Oh, Josh is still reeling. Josh is still reeling from last year. But listen, we're not going to get into the college stuff, okay? Just make sure that you're tuning in to Texas Longhorns fan battle on Thursdays at what time, Harish?
We are Thursdays at 8:30 p.m.
Gotcha.
The same time as the Titans Coliseum.
Right.
No,
the Titans Coliseum is Wednesdays.
Sir. All right, Josh, you're getting muted for 15 minutes. I'm muting you for 15 minutes, okay? Listen, how do you manage to get 3 strikes and 2 goals? Like Josh, you're muted for 10 minutes, okay? All right, fantastic. And then he said run backs, Diamond does, they don't care. All right. So you know what? So I'm glad that you bring that up, because this episode going to be talking about some things regarding some recent developments with running backs. But before we do that, we need to talk, because DeAndre Hopkins finally chose a destination. Okay, he said that he wanted the chance to win a ring with the QB that loves football, with somebody who can elevate the game, and he went to Tennessee. So
that explains Ryan Tannehill.
Exactly, because Ryan Tannehill, just loves the game of football, and certainly they can win a ring with DeAndre Hopkins.
That makes them a contender.
Yeah, but okay. So with that being, and mind you, this is all sarcasm, people, because let's just be honest. No, absolutely not. So, should we be scared the way Titans fans say that we are? Because all I've been hearing since he got signed was that now we should fear the Titans. So, I'll just kick it off. Austin, should we be scared the way Titans fans say we are?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, fantastic. Glad to hear it. Okay. How about you, Harish?
No.
Okay, fantastic. Josh, I'm going to unmute you for this answer, and then you're going back on mute.
I think we are. We should be scared.
Okay, definitely going back on mute now. All right. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this tonight. but in all seriousness, and this is a discussion that we've had with Titans fans just going back and forth, but the Titans were never one wide receiver away, right? You tell them that there's holes in different areas of the team, but they say, oh yeah, the Hopkins, whatever, and we still got a good pass rush. And it doesn't equate, being that, you know, this was also a secondary that was also very last in the league last year. So, I mean, yeah, you got better in terms of passing offense, but this was also they were ranked, what, 32 in passing offense. How much does he elevate that? How much does DeAndre Hopkins elevate that passing attack by being the only person that they added on other than Chris Moore from Houston?
I think it depends on how healthy he can stay, honestly, right? I mean, they can probably go from 32 to 31, or they can go from 32 to 29. Like, it just kind of depends on how healthy.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying, because I don't like, he helps. He absolutely helps, and I would never ever take that away, because I mean, prior to this, you had Traylon Burks as number one. Like, that's just what it is. But the thing is, it's just like, is this signing, knowing that we've gone against D-Hop numerous times in the past, being that he was already in division before, it's just like, is this something that really just terrifies, you know, people, just say, oh no, you know, now that the Titans offense is a high-powered offense that we all should just be absolutely mortified of?
Yeah, I'm not worried. If Pierre to see lock him up, I mean, I'm sure our cornerbacks can lock him up.
The fact that you said Pierre to see.
Yeah, the only problem with that is we don't know who our best corner is right now. It
don't matter.
It could be, I love Pro Bowl's Kenny Moore, or it could be
Juju.
I'm a rookie, Julian Brents. We don't really know, right? So I think it depends. Like, in all reality, he does elevate them, but does that equate to W's? Maybe. I don't know. It depends on how they use them in the offense, honestly.
Absolutely. And so, like I said, I'm not all the way sold on it yet. Like I said, it's just like, they will be better. I mean, he does make them better, absolutely, but I just don't think he makes them better to where they are a top 3 passing attack. So, yeah. So then moving on, because like I said, we're not going to talk about that. So yesterday we had, you know, we saw that, you know, running backs like Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Pollard from the Cowboys, all had to be signed by 4 p.m. Eastern time. They went 0 for 3 on contract signings. And so now it was an interesting question, because not just with Saquon Barkley, but just seeing exactly how everything goes, because mind you, these 3 were, I think they're all over 1,000 last year. I mean, I think Saquon and Josh Jacobs were, I want to say 2 and 3 or 1 and or 2. I think 2 and 3 in terms of rushing, and you don't get a deal done. So now that started to raise the issue with, is the running back position being devalued? And I want to get you guys' feedback on it, because when we're looking at that position in particular, you see that there's guys like Jonathan Taylor, who a couple years ago just absolutely took the league by storm, 1,800 yards, you know, and then was also able to get it done in the receiving game. And now he's up for contract soon. So I want to get you guys' thoughts on, is the running back position not just being devalued, but is it being downplayed with how it affects an offense as a whole? and I'll start with I'll start with you, Josh. I'll start with Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, with the last couple of years, the running backs that we mentioned, Saquon, well, he been hurt, but shots fired. The running backs such as Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara, we already know what Derrick Henry has done in the league. Teams have leaned heavily on those guys to run those offense, and they get most of the carries in the offense. And now when it's time for them to get what they worth, teams always have a problem in negotiation process, which our team right now having a problem with JT process. And we don't want it to get sticky because, I mean, again, most teams like Tennessee, like us, we want to be able to establish a run. But if you want to pay them, I mean, what's going to happen? I mean, I think somebody said we should have receivers being running backs like Debo.
It makes more sense, but I mean, let's just say if you end up having wide receivers, playing at running back, then that changes how things are. That means that you're essentially eliminating a position, and let's not act like the running back position doesn't equal out to actual yardage when it comes down to it. You can only do but so much before people actually go ahead and key in on it. The only problem is that if you have a guy out the backfield that for a fact can make defenses play a little bit differently, then I mean, you absolutely are going to be able to have an advantage. I mean, and we can be real about it. I can separate the fandom from the actual player. A guy like Derrick Henry, you don't have a guy like Derrick Henry out there. What does Ryan Tannehill become?
What he was last year.
What he was
the year before that.
And that's the biggest thing that I have. You know that there's not a single team in this league that doesn't have some type of rushing attack or have some type of running back attack. But before I go too far into that, Harish, what is your thought on what's going on as far as the running back position now?
Yeah, I think the running back position overall has organically devalued itself just because of the versatility of running backs. You have 2 and 3 running back systems. You have folks that have running back 2s and running back 3s that come in and they perform. Tony Pollard is a great example of this. He basically single-handedly knocked out Zeke, right?
Right.
Austin Eckler was a number 2, and he knocked out I forget who it was, but he knocked out a running back himself. And so when you have a position group that's that deep like that, it's essentially in itself resetting the market because you don't have that many bell cows anymore for them.
Yeah.
I do understand though. I want to elaborate. I do understand what the Giants are doing with Saquon because he's been injured the past 2 seasons. I do understand it with Dallas and Tony because they just went through having Zeke issues for the past couple of seasons after giving him 90-something million contract. So I do get those 2 teams, but then I don't get the Raiders and I don't get Indy not paying those the running backs. And then let's not forget Derrick Henry getting lowball on his contract. Even though he accepted it, he should have gotten paid more after rushing 2000.
Right. But you look at Derrick Henry, right, and the Titans have paid him. What have they won with it? They're not winning. They're just handing out money, right? At the end of the day, franchises are trying to win, and they're trying to do the best that they can in order to win. And handing out these big running back contracts, in my opinion, is probably either the most underutilized, not underutilized. It's probably the least valued position in the NFL right now. You look, what is it, the last 5 or 6 or 7 running backs? You don't see a top name winning Super Bowls.
Yeah,
I get it. I mean, offense. Defense wins championship. Not much offense. Definitely not led with the running back, but you do need one. You do need a rushing attack to score points.
Yeah. And then what about you, Austin? What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, yeah, it's obviously been devalued, whether it's, by running backs themselves or just organizations not wanting to pay their guys. I think that
Who is this guy?
That's a Colts fan from Twitter. That's a Colts fan from Twitter. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Austin.
Hold on, go ahead,
No.
Austin. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I think that running backs deserve to get paid if they put out like good performances, just like every other position. If they play good, they should get paid good. I don't like. That's just my opinion. I understand that teams don't want to spend too much money on a running back whenever they can just go get another one. But like when your guy does good for your team, I just feel like he needs to get paid by you. Like it's just a respect thing, I think. Like,
yeah. But you know what? It's kind of crazy because you see what Derrick Henry did, right? You see that he got the major contract. He got the major contract, and then I think Ryan Tannehill either got it before or he got it the same year that Derrick Henry did, or he got it before. Now, the crazy thing about it is that if you look at that offense, you look at exactly how that offense was ran, teams had to prep for Derrick Henry, and they knew that. So the thing is, when teams have to prep for one guy, you're going to see those stack boxes, right? So when you see stack boxes in that way, then that means that now that's going to open up for passing. Because let's just be honest, every team doesn't have super duper athletic linebackers that can act like they're blitzing and then just go out into coverage. So you have Derrick Henry, who effectively changes the complexion of a defense so that somebody like Tannehill can go out and throw for those stats where Titans believe that he's elite like Pat Mahomes. But when it comes down to what it is that we're doing, we saw that Ryan Tannehill got damn near triple the contract that Derrick Henry did without necessarily being more effective, because when it came down to it, in every single playoff that we've seen, when they neutralized Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill can't do a damn thing. I mean, I think, what was it? They the playoffs against Baltimore. I think they scored a whopping 14-16. They did the same thing again against the Bengals the following year. So you pay Ryan Tannehill all this money, and then mind you, they push back money to go get Julio. So then Ryan Tannehill effectively became the highest paid quarterback in the league because you push back money. But then you have Derrick Henry, who is getting 400 or 350 to 400 carries per season, no matter whether or not it's effective. And he has to pretty much stay exactly where he's at. You can say what you want in terms of the running back position, but it just doesn't equate the way that you would think that it does, being that you're willing to pay a quarterback. Mind you, Daniel Jones is getting $40 million a year now after having one good season where they refused to give him a 50-year option. But you're not going to pay Saquon, who pretty much contributed to that same thing, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, Saquon was the Giants' offense, if we're being honest. Like, yeah, Daniel Jones had a good year, but without Saquon, Giants would have done nothing.
Yeah.
We can say Barkley got Daniel Jones paid. And then with the Raiders situation, we know what Josh Jacobs was the offense, and they got rid of their 9-year, 10-year quarterback for a bum.
Okay.
For Jimmy G.
Yeah.
I'm just calling how I see it. And who else? Who else? I don't want to say, Dallas quarterback is a bum. He could play better, but Tony Pollard was pretty good last year. He stepped up pretty good when Zeke was out or Zeke was ineffective. I don't know what's his worth because he's been a backup since he's been drafted. But for our instance, JT definitely should get paid. The year that he rushed for 1,800 yards, Carson Wentz was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So
I think the one thing to keep in mind, I think the thing that's ruined, I think contracts as a whole, is the franchise tag. I think the franchise tag is ruined the entire complexity of how players are getting paid. Because you can hide behind the franchise tag now, a year, 2 years. And most teams will do it for a year, but a lot of teams will see that second year that a franchise tag will cost, and then they'll pay their running backs, right? So we'll probably talk about this, but I feel like that's a similar situation as to what we'll do as we head into what's going on with JT.
Yeah. Now, before we go any further, I do need to address this because this is something that I feel as though needs to be spoken of. So Leo, who is a Texans/Titans fan, wants us to believe that he is the king of Texans Twitter. But we do have proof that says otherwise. No matter how much VT is wrong about, this whole Ridley thing that he believes, I will say it's just like you got to beat out VT before you go and you talk to me about being in the king of Texans anything. Because he's him, Briggs, Crenshaw. They put on for Texans Twitter. They don't waver. They don't go and try to pose a tag team with RJ. So we can get that out the way right now. So moving on.
Leo don't defend the Texans. He defend the Titans. So he shouldn't put anything.
He'll trash the Texans.
Yeah. Leo's a Titans fan behind it. Leo is a Titans fan behind the Texans logo.
Yeah. Leo is RJ's burner. That's RJ's burner account. So let's just get that out the way right now.
I got you.
All right. So then from that running back perspective, like I said, we know that there were guys who sounded off, who had a lot to say regarding what what they thought about it. Derrick Henry sounded off. Austin Eckler. You had Christian McCaffrey sounded off about it and about the fact that this is really diminishing the running back position. We got a quick tweet from Jonathan Taylor just saying "wow" with a period. So my question then is, does the current running back market and what we've seen, over the past couple of days, does this affect the Colts and how they go about their contract negotiations with Jonathan Taylor?
Yes. I honestly think we're heading towards a franchise tag for Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. It seems like it. It seems like it. But then again, is there anything that you believe would be a number that would be a place where you say, okay, you pay Jonathan Taylor at this number, and then you can go ahead, and that's still not going to do anything? Because like I said, whether we pay Jonathan Taylor or not this year, you're looking at a lot of cap for next year. We essentially are paying a rookie quarterback over the next few years. So that means that it's just like until we actually pay a second contract for Richardson, then that means that it's just like you have some wiggle room in terms of cap space. So is there a number that we all collectively believe could be the place that Jonathan Taylor can go to?
70 mil?
Over 4 years? Okay. What about you, Austin?
That puts them like in that way.
That's 17 and a half.
17 and a half. Okay, maybe 80 mil. Probably put them somewhere in that 20 mil area.
Yeah, I think we should set the market before another team does.
Yeah, well, for the way that it looks now, the teams aren't trying to set the market when it comes to running backs.
Nobody wants to be the one team that sets that market.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely not. What about you, Austin? What do you believe would be a number that you would see realistically where JT would be signing and they're just like, okay, this is a good number to be at?
Yeah, I think like 16 to 20. I think that would maybe work. But also just my opinion on the Colts and JT's situation. Chris Ballard is known for paying his guys. He paid an interior lineman, Q. He paid Shaq. You know, those positions don't always get paid, but he did it because that's his guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like he's gonna give him a contract. It's gonna work out for Jonathan Taylor, no matter how bad Undisputed Colts online he'll cries about it.
I got a feeling I know who that is too.
That's because Chris Ballard doesn't care about winning and team building. He cares about building his guys and cheating the Colts out of years being the GM. That's what Chris Ballard likes to do. Remember, his time just started as the GM of the Colts because he just drafted his quarterback. So the last 5 years that he did of everything he did doesn't matter.
At the end of the day, though, Jonathan Taylor's 24. That is not an old running back. He's not out of his prime. I think you got to keep him. You don't want to see him playing somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree. Especially with the rookie quarterback, you want him to help develop that quarterback. With the running game.
Yeah, and what we're paying AR, we can pay JT a little bit more than what other teams are willing to pay their running backs.
Yeah, and so Josh, what number do you see potentially?
Yeah, I'm in there between what Austin and Harish said because, like I said, go ahead and lock him up. We don't want to go on an issue or instance where you see what Jacksonville did with Christian Kirk, and he set the market. And now everybody, you see what happened with Tennessee not wanting to give did not want to give AJ his money, so he ended up getting traded to Philly. We don't want another team to set them. We want the Chargers or even Dallas set the market, and now we have a problem with signing JT and possibly having to trade him.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go against the grain because I don't see getting up to 16. I don't see 16 to 20. I could see maybe 13 to 14, and then possibly just looking for a little bit more guaranteed money. Because the thing is, when you're talking about getting up into a higher number, then you're talking about everything being incentivized, having X amount of, yards, having X amount of touchdowns. You're going to have a lot more with that. Now, the thing is, for me, it's just like if you go and you say you do 4 for 70, like Harish said, right? But then you only have possibly 30 to 32 million guaranteed, then that means that it's just like technically everything is pretty much going to be on the end of you having to incentivize that, or the contract being more heavily incentivized than it is guaranteed. But if you can go and you can get somebody on a, let's just say 4 years for 52 million, but you have, let's just say 40 million guaranteed, that makes a lot more sense, because then that means that it's just like, yes, you're going to get that. You're going to get exactly what you're looking for. But then that means that they're not going to say, well, you know what, we're going to pay you this much, but you have to make sure that you do all of this. You don't want a Henry situation, because that's what the hell Henry's dealing with. Henry has all those carries and he has nothing to show for it because you signed a contract that was based on what you did after that one spectacular year. And now in order to actually get there, which I'm sure he goes and he hits it every year, but no, there's no way possible that with the amount of work that he does is worth the contract that he has right now. It just doesn't. So moving on, because now let's move on to things that are a little bit easier to discuss. So we do believe in ratings every now and then, and the ratings that we're talking about, they're Madden ratings. Right. So Madden, over the next, I believe, week or so, is going to be releasing ratings per position group. And of course, we really only give a damn when it comes to, the Colts, possibly some AFC South, just to see exactly who's where, or just for bragging rights or whatever. So we got a few of the ratings, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to do a game of too high, too low. So we saw Buckner. Buckner will be an 86 overall. Too high or too low?
Low.
Way
low?
too low.
Austin?
Yeah, I agree. Too low. I feel like he should still be in the 90s.
Okay. What would be suitable? What would be suitable for Buckner?
89 or 90.
89, 90? 89, 90?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Probably 89, 90. I think that's probably the sweet spot for him. But he's also on the regression train, right? He's 29, I believe.
Yeah.
He's heading towards, at that position regression. I mean, he's good, but he's not Aaron Donald. I love DeForest Buckner, but I don't think he's Aaron Donald good. I do think he regresses over the next couple of years. So
Yeah.
I can see why they put him down that low.
Okay.
And he did have a down year last year.
Okay. And then Austin, you said 90, right?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
90.
Yeah, because I was gonna say 90, maybe 91. Big Grover Stewart, 85. Too high or too low?
Just right.
Yeah,
right.
Good
I
spot.
agree. I think that's a good number for him.
Yeah, it's a great number for him. He played fantastically last year, and I think he got rewarded for it.
Yeah. Well, he absolutely did because I think starting out last year, he was like 81, 82. So, it's like he did get the increase. So I do think that 85 is about where he should be. Now, Julian Blackmon.
Too high. Oh, and not trolling.
78.
Too high.
Too high, yeah. Especially when you get beat out by a rookie.
I think that's good for him. I think the injuries have hurt, and he could be lower. So if I had to pick, I'd probably say just a little too high.
Okay.
Just because injuries.
Yeah, so I'm on the train of where Austin is. I'm okay with it only for the simple fact that when he's in, he's absolutely fine, like to me. But the problem is he's not on. He's not on the field that often. So I mean, I can't. I'm gonna say yeah. Under any other circumstance, I might say that he might be a little bit too low. But
it's too high because he changed position.
But he can tackle though. We have seen that before. Like,
but he's more of a ball hog though.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's one of those guys who can go into safety and he can tackle. I mean, this is the same guy that came in his first game in the league, and it's just outright blasted Dalvin Cook.
Oh, he blasted Henry too, but
oh, I mean, so you're making my point for me then. So, so then moving on, Nick Cross. 71 overall.
Too high.
70.
We ain't seen him, so why is it 70? He should be.
Well, he was. So I believe he was at a 71 last year. So they kept him literally right where he was at.
Okay, well, that's cool then.
All right. So Austin, too high, too low.
I think that's good. I think by the end of the year he's going to be higher.
Okay. All right. Harish, too high or too low?
I think he's just about right. Maybe a little too high, if anything. We just haven't seen enough of him to know for sure.
All right. That's fine. Now, this is where things get interesting because I know that one person on this panel feels a certain way about this guy. All right, and they're not bubbly feelings. Okay, Michael Pittman Jr. 85 overall, too high or too low?
Too goddamn low. He should be at the same as DeAndre Hopkins. He should be the same.
All right, you're going back on mute. You're definitely going back on mute. Enough. That's like strike 7.
I started too high. I think I started at just right, but I'm starting to think about it. I think he's too high, and this is the reason why. I am still in the belief that Michael Pittman Jr. is not a number one receiver.
What's up, Kendall? Okay.
I do feel like he regressed last year. His drops, and drops are gonna happen, right? But to me, it's drop in situations.
Yeah.
That really put a red mark against him for me. I think 82, 83 is like a sweet spot for him. And I think he would probably stay there because, again, I think he's a number 2 receiver. I don't think he's a number 1. I don't think we have a number 1 receiver.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is where you and I, Harish, normally go about our things. I think we always have at least one guy that we kind of like disagree on every single year, and we just continue to disagree completely. Because if you remember, the Sam Darnold debate went on for like 2 years, and you and I were literally just arguing about Sam Darnold for the damnedest long time. And so the issue that I'm running into, oh, there we go, kind of. So the issue that I'm running into is the fact that you don't believe that Michael Pittman Jr. is an absolute number 1. And I understand that, because the thing is, it's just like, compared to, let's just say, other guys who are number 1s, then that's fine. The issue that I have with it is the fact that you've put Michael Pittman Jr. in a very, very impossible spot, with not just having to prove that he's a number 1 by being thrown into that number 1 position, but you've thrown him into number 1, and you've given him the worst possible situations that you would ever put a number 1 into. It keeps happening in that way. But the thing is, for me personally, you go, and even last year, he didn't have the best year, right? It's like he had all these games where it's just like he had almost 100 receptions and didn't have 1,000 yards. But that O-line was so bad, they had to go with a passing offense that was literally no more than 15, maybe 20 yards at a time, because of the fact that the O-line could not protect whoever the quarterback was long enough in order for them to get the ball off. So for me personally, Michael Pittman Jr. has had opportunities to prove that he can be a number 1. And I think that he did use some of those opportunities to go ahead and show that he had those flashes. But if you keep on with this crappy QB carousel, or whatever you want to call it, it doesn't, it's not the best case scenario for anybody to be successful in.
I can agree with that.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me because I've seen Michael Pittman do great things, but they've been great. But I've also seen Michael Pittman do not so great things that make him look like a not so great, wide receiver. And it's like, yeah, sure, the offensive line is and I get the offensive line woes that we had last year. At the end of the day, there are specific scenarios that you get. There's always an opportunity in a job, whether it be in the NFL or your personal life that we do today.
Yeah.
There are times where you get an opportunity to show, are you above where you're at, or below? And I think Michael Pittman has had enough of those scenarios over the last 3 years to show me that he is not there.
Okay, and that's fair. So I'm going to say, so this year would then be a big proving year for him, not just with the fact that it's a contract year, but just for the simple fact that he has to prove that he can just continue, or he can be that certified number 1.
Yeah.
Right.
And spoiler alert, I don't think he can do that.
Okay, that's fine. And then Austin, do you believe that this is accurate to who Michael Pittman is as a wide receiver?
Yeah, I think 85 right now is good for him.
Okay. All right. And so in that case, then, tell me, start, bench, or cut DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Pittman Jr., or Calvin Ridley. Who do you start? Who do you bench? Who do you cut?
You start D-Hop, bench Michael Pittman, cut Calvin Ridley.
Okay, cool. All right. How about you, Josh Shane?
You start Michael Pittman.
You're going back on mute. You're going back on mute.
What were the options?
I said start, bench, cut DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Pittman, and Calvin Ridley.
Start D-Hop, bench Ridley, cut Pittman.
No, you guys are delusional.
You know what? Listen. I'm gonna you and VT. You and VT. You and VT just y'all make my butt itch. Like y'all.
Well,
like,
I'm glad I'm not tickling you though.
Oh God. Y'all the worst. You said you start Pittman over how?
Hell yeah.
No, Kendall. Josh is in full troll mode tonight, so please don't listen to the majority of what he's saying. Okay, this is what happens when he has one too many Capri Suns. All right, so you need to go ahead and just let him be where he's going to be right now.
It was Sunday delight.
Yeah, Josh is acting as our RJ tonight.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. He's doing his best RJ impression. He's being terribly unrealistic and delusional. All right. So then, with that being said, we're just gonna move on, and then we're gonna be up out of here. But we actually saw randomly. We saw a post today on social media and saw somebody working out, and it actually ended up being Shaq Leonard. So Shaq Leonard right now is or has been working out leading up to training camp. He it looks like he has full mobility, which is great considering the fact that over the last week or two, or matter of fact, the last month, we've heard numerous people just say, hey, we haven't heard anything about Shaq. Irsay says some things last week that made it seem like, okay, well, we don't know when he's going to be coming back, but then we see him working out this week. So these social media posts that we saw, what's the impression that you get? And is this enough for you to be like, okay, like he should be back to normal? Or are you still just kind of going into it with that, I don't know, I have to see him on the field before I actually think anything of it?
So I've said all offseason, I think Shaq's going to come back at the beginning of the year and be himself. I think he's going to be great. So it's hard for me to see that and not get excited. Just, I like to have hope. I like to be optimistic. So, I think he's coming back and winning comeback player of the year.
Comeback player of the year. That's lofty. But
hey, you look at it and say defensive player of the year. That almost came out.
Listen, we're okay, relax. All right.
He's a relax.
Let's one step at a time here, okay? What about you, Harish?
I've seen this story play out before. I know what it looks like. I'll wait until week 1. I've seen this happen. I remember when Andrew Luck was throwing preseason passes before snaps, and then 3 quarters later he retired. So I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, gotcha. Fair enough. What about you, Josh?
I don't want to get my hopes up with Darius. Just like Harish said, we've seen this before. We're optimistic that he does come back and play maniac football. Right now it's not enough.
Okay. All right. And I don't so I think I'm with I'm feeling the same way that I think everybody's feeling. It's inspiring enough that he's out there. It looks like he could get back to form, but at the same time it's like I want to see it on field. It's just like I don't want it to be going into training camp and then we're going into hoping that he isn't gonna be held out, because mind you, it's just like linebacker is probably one of the thinnest groups that we have currently. So if you're missing him, that means that you have other guys coming in that you may not necessarily have the most faith in for the most part, right? So I don't know. It's like I said, it's just like I like the video, but he's gonna have to show a lot more. Okay, so yeah. And then Cody Blankenship from the Jaguar says good morning.
Before we pass that name, we got he's the one that said Kristen and Kevin should be a 90.
Yeah.
Why?
Josh, you just couldn't contain yourself, could you?
No, he couldn't. He couldn't. He said it.
Come on, man.
He said, so Kevin ain't played 2 years and he should be at 90.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus. He's probably 90 on his parlays. I don't know if he's a 90 overall in Madden. Like
I hope he didn't parlay that bet because he would have lost a lot of money.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, that's thanks for that laugh. Thanks for that laugh, Cody. That was a good one. That was ridiculous. But hey, so as far as we see right now, like right, he said let's rehash this mid-season. The only way that we're going to be able to tell is the end of the season. So I'm going to say, do you believe that Calvin Ridley is going to do better than the 1374 that he had in his last full season that he played 2 years ago?
I think he gets. I actually think he gets pretty darn close to that. I do think Calvin Ridley is really good. I think he starts off slow, but I think he picks it up as the season goes. And remember, he got that 1374 with a bad quarterback.
Yeah, but he also got that 1374 as a number 2. It's true. It's like the thing is, it's really crazy for me because I mean, okay, so mind you, let's look at it this way, right? A guy has 926 and then he has 1426, right? So you would think that guy was actually like doing pretty daggone good, right? So what if I tell you that guy was in the league 4 more years and never scratched 1,000? You know who that was? Juju Smith-Schuster.
Must be Calvin Ridley.
No, Juju Smith-Schuster. And you know when he got that 1,400? When he's playing opposite AB.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Hey.
You got company, Harish?
Bad QB and a broke foot. I mean, that sounds plausible. Mahomes wanted to, you know what, guys, this is all great. But you know what? We are actually going to get out of here, but we can continue these conversations with us either on the HOrseShoe Mob page on Facebook, or you can continue on www.fanbattlesports.com or at the HOrseShoe Mob page on Twitter, or you can just hit all of us up individually and just let us know how much you hate our takes by going to each one of us, because guess what? We're going to give that to you. So, Harish, where can the people find you on social media?
You can find me at the Uncle Gandhi everywhere.
All right, the uncle, except for on Facebook where it's Harish Nukala. Yes. Josh, where can the people find you on social media?
On Twitter at official Josh Senior.
That's probably the most rational thing you've said this evening.
Thank you.
All right, and then Austin, where can the people find you on social media?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at CookieAustin2.
Yes, and you can find me at CJ Colts Fan, where I will probably be in an AFC South group, talking to people who are fans of one team but bigger fans of another team. I'm not going to say any names, but I'm talking about Leo. So with that being said, guys, have a great night. We will see you next week, where we will actually be live with Pat Dorflin from the SIG Podcast Anvil Show. So please make sure that you tune in same time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:30 Central. I don't know what the other time zones are because we all live on Eastern and Central time zones, so you get it. But either way, people, thank you. Have a good night. And in case you forgot, just want to make sure I remind you that Sam loves Jalen Ramsey.